All right, here we go. Today we have Lul Tim, who's most known for protecting his friend Quando Rondo with deadly force when Quando was attacked unprovoked by King Von in Atlanta in 2020. When we first spoke a couple years ago, Tim was still being charged for the shooting, so I waited until all the charges were dropped before reaching out for an interview. Well, those charges have all been dropped, so now we can speak about it. So long last, welcome to VladTV. Well, it's your first time here. I want to start in the very beginning. So you grew up on the east side of Savannah?
Yeah, I grew up on the east side of Savannah. Yeah.
Okay, and you were raised by your mom and your grandmother?
Yeah, I raised by my mom and my grandmother.
Okay, how many kids were there altogether?
Staying at grandma's house, you had really just my mom kids, so you like just me, my two brothers on my mother's side, and my sister on my mother's side, as kids-wise.
Okay, and what was your relationship with your dad?
Relationship good. It's just like he was always there for like sports and stuff. I didn't live with him, but the relationship's still good. He tries his best like to be there when he can and stuff like that. Not saying like he wasn't missing in my life or nothing like that, but I just didn't stay with him and be with him all the time, but we for sure kept a good relationship.
Well, you said that growing up, your family didn't have it all, but you weren't living in poverty at the time.
Yeah, it was stuff like that. You know, like stuff that you want, you probably couldn't get everything, but I wouldn't say like it was the bare minimum, but you couldn't get everything you wanted, though.
What do you think during that time was the hardest thing you had to deal with growing up?
At that time, well, I wouldn't say elementary. I couldn't really say because I don't think I was like at that point where I really understand where everything was going on. But it's like in middle school, it's like you got some kids who got different pair of shoes to go to school with every day, and you don't. So you got shoes to go to school with, but you don't have a different pair every week. And then you got other kids who getting new pair of shoes every week, and you still wearing like your same shoes that you started the school year with. So it's kind of be like you kind of wanted to get a little more clothes and stuff or have more, but you really just had to take care of what you got and go from there. Yeah, like that type stuff at the beginning.
Well, you said that in the beginning you were actually into sports a lot, football, basketball, etc.
Yeah. Like elementary to probably like to middle school, I ran track, played football, and played basketball. Yeah.
Well, you said that at one point you started getting caught up in the streets and then all the sports stuff started going out the window.
Well, I kind of started getting caught up with it a little bit like middle school and high school, but it's like I still played sports, but it was interfering a little bit, but I didn't lose like football because I really love football, so I still played football all my years, but I was interfering in the streets a little bit though.
Okay, at what age did you really start getting mixed up in the streets?
Well, not really like me asking my mom and stuff like, can I get these shoes every week? Can I get a new pair of Jordans? Can I get a new pair of Jordans? And not getting them made me kind of start interfering and getting into like the streets a little bit. So I was like probably in middle school, I started like doing stuff I ain't had no business doing. And then that would kind of made me like kind of sneaky and stuff because I ain't want people to know what I had going on. So I just did it on my end. And if you just knew, you knew, but it's like, it's not nothing I wanted nobody to know about. And it's like I wasn't doing it just to do it. I was doing it to get stuff I wanted. But at the time, it's like, I know I'm supposed to be doing it, but it's kind of making me happy because I'm finally getting what I really want.
During that time, were you getting arrested at all or no?
Nah, I wasn't getting arrested at all. So it's like, I wasn't learning my lesson.
Okay, so at what point did you meet Quando Rondo?
I met Quando like I met him a time before, but this didn't made us like, my first time meeting him was probably like high school, but like the beginning of high school around like 13, 14, 15 and all that. But that wasn't our first time meeting him, wasn't what made us real close. It was just a meet like, oh, this so-and-so, this so-and-so, and it kept going like that. But then it's like, as time was going by, before he was blowing up in the rapping stuff, he was already rapping. And we just started like, kept coming around each other and getting close like that. Now, it's around no type of age though, like 14, 15 and stuff like that.
Right, and Rondo had been rapping by that time for years because he had been going through the juvenile system and rapping,
Right.
In juvie and everything else like that. So by the time you met him, was he kind of polished in terms of his style?
In the city wise, not big wise, but in the city wise, people know like he rap or he's trying to blow and rap or he like trying to get off in the music. Like when I first met him, he was already rapping, already acapella, like already be energized like that. His name wasn't big, but in the city he was known for rapping though. But they was also knowing him as always getting in trouble. So some people didn't take him as serious because they looked at him like he's going to be a waste because he's going to throw his life away.
Well, right, because Savannah really doesn't have a long history of hip-hop artists that have really blown up.
Right.
I mean, Camouflage was on his way, but then he ends up getting killed in 2003.
Right.
So he never really got his full potential. So there's really not a lot of other rappers that you could look up to and kind of model yourself after.
Right.
So Quando was kind of the only one at the time.
Right.
Now, Lul Pab, when'd you meet him?
I met Pab before I met Quando, so I met Pab probably like I want to say like I met Pab probably like 11, 12 years old. Something like that. About 12 years old, I knew Pab. I met Pab.
Okay, and Pab is Quando's cousin.
Right.
What was Lil Pab like?
Pab is like a person, his mom only child, who gonna try to take care of the family, a hustler, a money getting type nigga, independent, don't like depending on nobody type of person. He's that type.
Were you guys pretty close?
Yeah, we was close. He was close, my boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, man.
It's all good, man.
Okay, so in high school, you know Quando, you know Pab, you graduate high school, and then you get arrested.
Right.
It was over like stolen property?
Yeah, we was goddamn. You know, like sometimes if you get a stolen gun charge, they charge you like theft by receiving stolen property.
Oh, so it was a stolen gun, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was the first time you got arrested?
Right. I was like 17, I believe.
Okay, so you're still a minor.
Yeah, but down here, 17 starts where you could go to the real county jail, and 16 ends where you go to juvenile.
Okay, so you get arrested at 17, then you get put into adult county jail.
Yeah, you go to adult county jail.
Okay, so what was that like? Here you are, 17 years old. You're not the biggest dude.
But
you
it's
know what I'm
like-
saying? Like, how are you
it's
being
like-
treated in that jail cell?
Like just growing up, I always been a good type of nigga. Like I have a good face card in the city and stuff like that. So me going to jail, I wasn't really worried about nothing really going on because I'm gonna know people in here and people gonna know me, and then all people ain't knowing that type of time, and like I'm a real respect the type of guy. So I wasn't really worried about that. And then it's like how that night happened, they arrested us wrong and stuff. So I was already telling myself and my co-defendant, like, bro, we really good. Like, we don't say nothing, bro. They gonna let us out because they did us wrong how it had happened.
Okay, so you get arrested. How long do you actually spend in jail before they let you out?
Just like a week.
Oh, okay.
This
Just
is my
simple. In and out.
first time, so they gave us a bond.
Okay. Did you ultimately plead guilty to that, or they dropped the charges?
No, they dropped the charges. Cause like I said, like how they arrested us that night, it was 4 guys and they only arrested 2. So they really did like how they did their operation. They went wrong and the cops was being dirty. So not that same year, but like down the line, 2, 3, 4 years, they ended up dropping the case.
Okay. So you had that, over your head for quite a while, wondering if you're going to get charged for that case.
Yeah, but I never like been back to court or nothing. It just after that bond, after that, everything just lawyers just saying like, just stay out of trouble. Hopefully they don't bring it back up and stuff like that. And eventually they end up dropping the case.
Okay. So you're back on the street again. Now, Crips are sort of making their way around Savannah, particularly rolling 60s. Was that already around before, you knew about it? Or did that come around as you were a kid?
That was already around before I even knew about it. That was already around.
Okay. So how'd you get involved in that?
Sure. I really didn't even get involved in it. It was just the area really. It's like, sometimes it's like where you grow up at. It's like, it just be in your area or something like that. It's not really, it's like, sometimes you just be brought up in the wrong area,
Okay, so meaning that if your grandmother lives on a certain street, they'll just assume you're a Crip, regardless of whether you're actually part of it or not.
They'll just be like, oh, you stay in this certain area, so they might just think you are, even if you're not.
Right. Okay. And you talked about how you lost 3 of your close friends in the streets.
Yeah. Probably more. I done lost more than, 3 partners in the streets, but some of them all ain't from just like violence,
Well, how many friends did you lose through violence around this time?
What time would this be? Like, what age you want to say?
18, 19, 20, that time. Late teens, early 20s.
18, 19, 20. At that time, I probably only had lost like 1 partner to violence. More, like it was stuff going on, but it's like people from my side weren't getting killed though. Everybody was playing their cards how they were supposed to play them. But like probably just 1 person at that time to die from violence though. No more than 2.
How did that affect you?
It had affected me in a certain type of way, cause it was like how it had happened. It was like someone in my boy's family had crossed them, and so it was kind of hard to go about it. And then it's like that was my man's, and he was younger than me, so he kind of had looked it up to me. And then it's like some stuff you gotta take on the chin and look at it like this life and stuff that you're not gonna know that's gonna happen, but the book already written. So some stuff you just gotta take it on the chin, look at it like this part of my life, or this something that's just gonna happen in my life that I didn't know about.
Okay, so you're in Savannah, you're around 20 years old, you and Quando are friends, and Quando actually starts making more noise on the music side to the point where people are starting to recognize him, and some of the big dogs in the music industry start coming around. The Game reached out to Quando Rondo, wanted to sign him. Birdman wanted to sign to Quando Rondo. But then the song Kickin' Shit comes out, and at the very end, it showed the NBA logo, the NBA, young boy logo at the end.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, Quando signed to NBA Youngboy.
Right.
And that became the first signing that Youngboy did with his deal at Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just interviewed Quando about this whole situation. He said that Youngboy just DM'd him one day.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I like your shit. Let's do some business. Youngboy gave Quando $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And what was wild is what Quando said was that to this day, Young Boy's never taken a piece of any of his earnings.
Yeah.
Solid dude right there.
Yeah.
And at the time, Young Boy was huge.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's still huge, obviously, but at the time, you know what I'm saying? He was huge and, you know, this was kind of a newer artist. So how did you feel when, you know, your close friend here suddenly gets signed to this huge rapper, he gets money, and now he actually has a platform, you know, to get his music out to the masses?
Well, when he first signed, he moved to Atlanta. But it's like he moved with him, his girl. So he had a little family and stuff going on. I was still in Savannah at the moment. And me, I'm not no beggar. I'm the type person who like to go get their own. Like, I wasn't looking for nothing, you feel me? So, and I wasn't rapping at that time. I wasn't care about rapping either. So it's like, I was just behind the scenes, like, he'll call me and just be like, man, boy, you don't need to be down there. Ain't nothing no going down there. You know, come up here to, hey, man, you can chill at the house, stay at the house. But I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be coming to your house freeloading and stuff like that, man. I got to try to get my own, man, type stuff like that. So I was happy for him, but I wasn't no guy who would kind of call him and be at his house every day with my hand out, because I ain't that type of guy.
Well, Quando starts leveling up. And back then, you know, we're talking about 2018 or so, he was essentially cool with everybody.
Yeah.
There's a song called Other Side, which is Quando Rondo featuring Lil Durk and Gunna. There's a video of King Von and Quando Rondo hanging out, like backstage somewhere. There was no friction with anyone back there. Everyone was cool. Everyone was happy to be, you know, getting on and everything else like that. So I just want to lay that foundation to show that there's no like long-term beef or there wasn't any issues or whatever. Everyone was cool. People working music, you know, doing music together. People were hanging out, doing videos. Everyone was happy. King Von had gotten out of prison, I think, around that time, and he signs to Lil Durk on OTF, and he becomes one of the rappers that are kind of coming up at the time. Now, you end up getting shot in the leg at one point.
Right.
What was that situation about?
That was in some situation in the hometown down in Savannah. Like, I ended up getting shot in my left thigh. And
okay. Can you talk about what happened?
It was like one day just coming out of my grandma's house, eating some breakfast, eating like some grits, sausages and stuff like that, cheese and eggs and stuff, just walking down the street, finna go to one of my homeboys' house and chill, play the game or something like that. This back in like 2019. And it's like God bless me with like good reflexes and conscious and stuff. Like, so while I'm walking down the street, something in my head tell me to turn around. So I turn around. It's a car sitting at the corner, but while I was looking at it, turn the corner, you know, like a couple guys like come out the car and start shooting and stuff. But it's like they, like all the shots that they shot, they really missed all the shots, and only one like hit my leg.
How many shots was it, if you could remember?
I don't know. I just know it was multiple shots. I don't know the exact amount, though.
Okay. Had you been shot at before the situation?
Talking about before?
Yeah, had you been shot at?
Shot at before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times, if you were to just guess?
I can't even tell you.
Okay. But you went through all those situations without getting shot, and now for the first time you actually do get shot.
Yeah.
What went through your head? Did you think that you might die? Because people get shot in the leg and the bullet travels, and next thing you know...
No, I didn't really think I was going to die. I guess because my adrenaline was running. I just skipped back to the house. My grandma kind of panicking because, you know, that's your grandma and stuff like that. She asked me what's going on and stuff like that. I just tell her, like, just call the ambulance, some good stuff like that. Then I've been in the hospital for like a day or two. I probably healed up from the wound for like in a month type type job like that.
Okay. Now, there was a rumor that you said was false. People were saying that you'd been shot like 5 times before. That's not true.
Yeah, that wasn't true at all. I don't know where they had got that from. I think that was just a blog trying to make their page go up or something, trying to get some type of attention or something.
You know, a lot of times when people get shot, and I've interviewed people like this, they develop PTSD. Because a lot of times when people in your position, you don't go to counseling or get a therapist or, talk about your feelings. And, you get thrown out in the same environment with potentially the same people who shot at you. And it creates a level of paranoia and so forth. Do you think you went through that to a certain degree?
PTSD? Yeah, I believe so. I really know so.
Yeah, of course.
For sure. I went through it before. For sure.
Do you ever think about getting therapy to kind of talk about that situation or the other situations you went through?
Nah, because it's like, I don't really like just to talk or express my feelings to like anybody. Like, I really feel like you gotta be someone who I know I could talk to, or I feel like they really listen. Cause some people, whatever you tell them might just go through one ear out the other, but they'll act like they listening, but they really don't give a fuck what you're talking about.
Look, I've been through therapy for the last few years, in and out of various things. I can tell you the therapy actually did make a huge difference in my life, because a lot of times your friends won't always have time for you to listen to you. They're going through their own problems.
But
and
really,
when you speak to someone that actually
it really
knows,
ain't always got to be your friends, though. Yeah. It could be a girl you talk to, or, your girlfriend, or
I know.
Like
but when you talk to a professional, they've literally seen these types of situations before, and they can help you navigate your feelings. But you see what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about a therapist going and telling someone, because they're legally required not to tell anybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like this person don't even know me, so it's like, how much do you really care about what I'm telling? I know like that's their job, but you don't even know me from like my first day meeting you. I just can't sit there and just explain a bunch of stuff that I got deep down and just express it out. It's not even gonna come out because I don't even know you, so I'm not even comfortable with telling you all type of stuff.
No, I got it. But, over time, you establish a relationship with the therapist. In the beginning, you don't tell them everything, but over the course of months or even years, you slowly open up to them and they slowly start to understand you. But ultimately, man, it's your choice. I'm just letting you know it helped me, and, you just may want to think about it in the back of your head. Okay, so 2020 comes around. Now, this part of the story is murky, because we're not quite sure where the friction started. There was a rumor that King Von asked NBA YoungBoy for a verse and didn't get one. There's a rumor that Quando tried to slide in Asian Doll's DM. Then there was a picture that Von posted with YoungBoy's baby mother, Jania, in the studio. And it just seems like there's tension that's happening on King Von's side, not on anybody else's side. Von said, ain't no rap beef, ain't no real beef unless someone gets shot or something. But then he did say that he would treat NBA YoungBoy's people like a little boy. But Quando said there was absolutely no issues with Von or Durk or anyone else leading up to the situation. Did you guys ever talk about Von or Durk or anything else like that leading up to this?
Nah, never did. You still to this day don't even talk about other rappers. Like, that type shit don't even be on our mind. But like you say though, like he never talked to me about nothing about that situation.
Yeah, listen, unless I hear something different, all these reasons sound stupid and petty.
Yeah.
If you ask me. Not enough to lead to what ultimately happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is just regular shit with girls that, dudes ain't even with. You know what I mean? And so forth and so forth. Or a verse that you didn't get. I mean, it really sounds like egos and pettiness and, people acting tough for no reason, actually. Okay, so November 6th, 2020. There's an after-hour spot called the Monaco Hookah Lounge. Quando's there, you're there. Who else is there with you guys?
The driver that was with Quando and one of my partners who was in the car with me.
That night, before everything happened, did you feel any sort of tension, apprehension? Did you feel anything in the air? Something might be wrong?
Like before?
Yeah.
No, before, because we were just chilling at the house and smoking and stuff, you know. And they asked about going out, but I'm not an outgoing person. Like, I really don't go out like that before all this and all that stuff. So when they asked me, I told them I ain't wanting to go out. That's why you really got to go to first mind when you think about stuff like that. But he said he was going out. He like, man, come on, man, let's go out, man. I got you. Like, he gonna pay for everything and you ain't got to worry about no tab and stuff. But I still, like, I don't be caring about that type of stuff. So I was like, man, I really don't want to go out. But if you going out, I'll go out with you just to go out with you, make sure you good and stuff like that. But I really ain't want to go out. That's the only feeling that I had. Like, I just ain't felt like going out. I'd rather chill and catch a vibe or, you feel me, some other type job, like in closed doors or something. Because it's like going out don't really get me excited. I really don't get happy or really have no fun just going in the club, getting on liquor and throwing money. That don't really bring no happiness to me. Like, that ain't no peace to me. Cause it's like, after I throw all this money and do all this, the next morning I wake up and be like, why wouldn't they did that stupid shit last night?
I mean, that night, you allegedly brought a gun with you. Was it because of getting shot before and various other problems you feel, you felt you might have? Or was that just something that you're just, leave the house, grab your gun, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's just like growing up where I'm from and being in the environment I'd already been in the past. That was just a regular thing you do. When you leave your house, you take your gun with you just to make sure you're good.
Okay, so you guys are in the parking lot of the Monaco Lounge. Quando, I heard, didn't want to go in the club. He just wanted to sleep in the car. Do you remember that part?
Nah, my partner was sleeping in the car. Well,
okay.
He wasn't all the way asleep, but he was like halfway there. And he telling him to get up. We finna go inside the club.
Aha. Okay, but you guys never actually make it inside the club?
Nah, I never made it in.
Okay, so you guys are in the parking lot trying to figure out what you're going to do next. One of your friends is asleep. Quando's waking him up, getting ready to come in.
Yeah.
And in the same parking lot, King Von pulls up. And someone allegedly tells Von that Quando's in the same parking lot. And you ultimately see this on the video. Von gets out of the car, goes straight for Quando, and just starts hitting him with absolutely no provocation. There were no words that were said between the two. It seemed like Von just went straight at him and just started attacking him.
All right.
You were right there when it happens. What went through your head?
Shoot. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to everyone who was in the parking lot, because it's like, I'm not even from Atlanta, so I don't know everybody in Atlanta, so it's not like I'm even looking for people to even know or be known. Like, I'm not even looking around to see if I even see some people I know, because I'm not even from here. So I was on the phone when it first happened, so you really could just, like, by me being on the phone and getting my partner all the way up, because he hadn't woke up, but he like, damn, we here already? Because, like, he had just dozed off. He wasn't even asleep for that long. So it's like, it was just like a shock or shocking, because it's like, shoot, I was on the phone when it first happened, and I didn't even see him even walk up. Like, and then I didn't even know it was even him. Feel me? So it's like, I didn't even look over there at them, because I wasn't even worried about nobody in the parking lot, because I don't know nobody up here. So it's like, I was on the phone at the moment when it had happened.
Okay, and I just want to say that I feel you did the exact right thing. if I was in that same situation myself, I would expect my security to act the same way.
Right.
Okay. So you see this fight happen and your guy is getting attacked by King Von. What happens next?
It's like damn, it's like soon it happened, I don't even know it's him. My partner look at me and I look at him like damn, like you know, both of us shot like damn, what's going on? We don't even know why this even just happened. Like, feel me? We kind of clueless. But I just know like, and on the documentary I talk about most of this on the documentary I got coming out. So I'm not gonna like leak everything about it, but it's like in my head I'm like, why somebody fucking with my little brother? You feel me? It's like that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first pop off. I'm like, damn, like, and then I knowing like we just got here, so I knowing he ain't did nothing to nobody out here for somebody to really want to do something to him. So in my head, it just going through my head is like, damn, why somebody fucking with my little brother? Type shit. That was really going through my head.
Well, you end up pulling out.
But I'm gonna protect the person though. It's like, any brother I have or any sister I have or any family member I have, if anybody is bothering or doing something to anybody who I love, I'm gonna protect them regardless of what's going on. It's like, that's just who I am. I'm not gonna let nobody fuck with nobody who I love.
Yeah, as you should. Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed?
Yeah.
After the 4th shot?
Probably like the 3rd shot.
Okay. But after you start shooting, all hell breaks loose. There were off-duty cops in the area, and they start shooting.
Right.
You end up getting shot twice?
Right.
What parts of the body?
I get shot in my right hip bone, and I get shot on my ass. It go in and out, though.
Okay, so this is now the second time you've gotten shot.
Yeah, this is the second time I done got shot.
Are you more calm about it this time since you've gone through it before?
Yeah, because like the first time I got shot, I didn't even have a panic attack. I was calm. So it's like this time, I knew like do the same thing, like stay calm and just make sure I get to the hospital.
Okay, so a shootout now happens. And a lot of people are starting to get hit. So King Von had a guy named Slutty. He gets killed by the police. King Von's manager, 100K, Track, he gets shot in the leg. O-Block Louie, who I interviewed not too long ago, he gets shot in the head. I guess in the video he tries to pull out a gun and I guess his gun jammed or something like that.
I think so. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of like, by me getting shot, I kind of was like not in a full state of mind. It's like a lot of ringing going on in my ear, I guess, from all the gunshots.
Right, because bullets are flying everywhere at this point.
Right.
Did you think that King Von survived the shooting, or did you know that he was gone at that point?
No, I didn't know neither one, if he was gone or still alive. I just, like I say, I didn't even know it was him. So I didn't even know if he was dead or alive. I just was trying to make sure Quando was good.
Okay, and there's rumors that were going on around this time. They're saying that Von was trying to hold up Quando as a shield. Did that happen at all?
Yeah, I really think like by him getting shot in the back, he probably was like, his body was just locked on to him from holding him. Like people would think he was trying to take his chain or something like that, but I don't really think it was that. I really just think like his body was just locked on and he couldn't let go.
Okay, so now you're shot, you're bleeding on the ground. And since you're shot in the legs, Are you able to walk at all or no?
Nah, my left leg didn't really get shot. And then I didn't even know I got shot in the ass until I got to the hospital the next morning and stuff like that. But I knew I got shot in the hip because I felt that. So my right hip, I wasn't walking on that. Like, I pulled myself up from the back of the truck. Like, I pulled myself up and I really like limped back to the door on my left leg because my left leg wasn't hurting.
Okay, so did you drive yourself to the hospital or did Quando drive you?
It was both. I'm the one who pulled off. Like, I was telling Quando to get in the car because there was so much going on. I know, like, the gun jam, I'm injured. Ain't not too much I really could do to help you still. So it's like, ain't no reason for us to sit here. And then my other partner, I don't know where he was at. So it's like, I was telling Quando, so we might get in the car, we might well go. Because there ain't too much we could do. Ain't no reason to be just standing here looking stupid. But, like, I'm the one who pulled off. But by me, like, leaving the scene and stuff like that, I eventually started losing energy, I guess, from bleeding out and stuff. So he eventually helped me started driving. But
okay, so you guys go to the hospital.
Right.
Do you go into surgery at that point?
Yeah, like, when we first get there, the doors was locked. The lady wouldn't let us in. She panicking inside. We still standing outside. I think that's why he went on live, because he was trying to say like he was gonna get a lawsuit or something just in case. But anyway, lady was panicking inside the hospital. Finally, she ran off and got a key and came back and unlocked the door. Cause she said she wasn't supposed to unlock the door because of COVID and stuff like that. It was a lady out there outside who helped me get to the door too. I swear I don't know who she is. I would like someone to let me know though who she is. But I don't know who she is or her name. I kind of remember. I know she was a brown-skinned lady, but I don't kind of remember. There was so much going on though. But she helped me get to the door too though. Like a lady who don't even work in the hospital. She was standing outside telling me like I'm gonna be good and stuff like that. But anyway, like when they took us, it took them like 5-10 minutes just to come from the back, just to come get me with a wheelchair and stuff. But eventually they ended up cutting all my clothes off. And, you know how they put the little stuff on your nose and stuff and all that type stuff. But I guess I went straight into surgery after that though, I guess, because, you know, they put you to sleep.
Okay, so you get taken to the hospital. King Von gets taken to the same hospital. And apparently he was alive on the way to the hospital, but by the time he gets to the hospital and goes into surgery, he ends up dying. Are you aware that the guy you just shot is in the same place that you are?
Nah, because I got there. I had to get there before them. Or I got there before them, so I don't even know that. I don't really find this out till the next morning when I wake up, when a nurse tell me, like, it's a lot of people who came here last night. It's a few who didn't survive. You blessed, you did survive and stuff like that.
When you found out that King Von died, how'd you feel?
At that moment, I still didn't know exactly who he was. I just knew like they were saying like someone had died. So, and then it's like they had me in custody. So it's like I couldn't even see the TV and stuff. So I really don't know who they talking about. I just know they kept saying some rapper came in here last night and died. So I really didn't know who they actually was talking about. So, but in my mind, when I'm waking up, I know what happened last night. But in my mind, I just know like shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who died, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn. If Brian did that stupid shit last night, his ass still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, a nigga ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect for shit to like his mama saying fuck him and shit like that. Cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type shit. Like, I ain't on that type shit. I'm a humble person, but it's like, at the end of the day, if they ain't never popped that shit off, that shit would have never happened like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of people actually compare this to the Tupac situation, where Pac went and jumped on somebody on a crip that he should have put his hands on. And shortly afterwards, they go back and they end up killing him. Do you see comparisons to your situation and what happened to Pac?
Yeah, not 100%, but pieces, yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't happen right away. It happened a few hours later.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the same result.
Yeah.
Someone jumps on someone they shouldn't jump on, and that person, along with his crew, retaliate, which ends up, in the demise of the person who did it. If Pac never jumped on Orlando, he'd be doing movies right now and albums.
What was the reason Pac did it, though?
Oh, I can tell you that. I know this story inside and out. So what happened was there was a beef that was happening between Death Row and Bad Boy. And the rumor was that Diddy had put a bounty on Death Row chains. So a guy was at the mall in Compton and a bunch of Southside Crips jumped on him and tried to take his chain. Right? Whether they took it or not is a little bit of a fuzzy story. But what happened was that night at the casino, the guy who got jumped saw Orlando, who jumped him, and told Suge and Pac and everyone, oh, that's the dude that jumped me and tried to take my chain. And Pac instantly went after that guy, Orlando, and attacked him.
Not saying Pac was in it, right? But Pac wanted to be there for his guy.
Right.
Not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm just saying he wanted to be there for his guy. See, that's why I say it has some similarities and some not, because it's like,
right.
It's like Quando ain't did nothing.
I agree. It's not a apples to apples.
Yeah.
Certain parts of it. You're right. Pac wanted to be there for his guy, but also he had people to handle that for him. He didn't have to do it himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So you're in the hospital, you were shot yourself, and then you actually get arrested for the shooting?
Right. Like a couple of days later in the hospital, they come chain me to the bed.
Okay, so now you're chained to the bed, you're shot, 2 bullet holes in you. And what are they charging you with at that time?
They don't even tell me what I'm charged with. He just come in there. I see the handcuffs. I'm like, oh, I know what he finna do. He like, what did he say? He say something like, you're not charged. He said, you just detained right now. You just detained right now, but you're not charged. He said something like that. But in my head, I already knew what was going on. So I was like, yeah, all right. Like, whatever.
Okay. Depending on how things would have worked out, it could have went very different directions. So you're being charged with murder in the worst case, right? Potentially.
Yeah.
So how are you holding up knowing that, man, I might catch a murder charge over this and I might have to spend the rest of my life in prison?
It's like, damn. It's like, boom, I don't really find out I get charged with murder until I get to Fulton County, because they never told me what I was charged with. So when I finally see my charge, I'm like, damn, they charging me with murder. Like, it don't say first degree, it don't say this, it just say murder. So I'm like, damn, they charging me with murder. I'm like, I finally chop it up with my lawyer. He telling me like, man, you got so many people who trying to take your case. You got this, and this. This a high profile case. He like, it's beatable though. He was like, I watched the video. You could get self-defense off this, and that. So he telling me that, this and that. I'm like, all right, like he telling me good news about it. And me knowing how it happened and how it went down, I'm like, yeah, I really could get self-defense. So I'm knowing like, they probably gonna come at me with a couple of deals or something, but I'm knowing like, if I take this to trial, 12 jurors all along gotta say the same thing. I'm knowing they saying, like, they looking at this like, hey, not saying I know, I'm just saying like from my own perspective, I'm like, if 12 people look at this, all 12 of them is not gonna agree that I should get life about this.
Yeah, but keep in mind, you are in the South. You got racist jurors possibly on that jury.
Yeah.
They're going to paint you a certain type of way. So although you are confident in the back of your mind, I'm sure you're thinking, but it could go the other way.
Right. Right.
So you have to deal with that mentally.
Yeah, mentally. Sitting in there like, it could go either way. You're right.
Yeah. Now, they actually gave you a colostomy bag at that point?
Yeah, I had surgery and had a colostomy bag.
Okay. And, you know, I've interviewed like Terrence Gangster Williams. He went through that also. He got shot in the stomach, had a colostomy bag for a while. I mean, how hard was that to deal with? Now you basically have to shit through a bag.
Yeah, that was kind of like, that kind of threw me off because it's like, I always heard about a shit bag, but I never had met a person in person actually seen the real shit bag. So like, I always heard about it or seen it on TV or something, a movie or something, but I never had been right next to a person who had actually a shit bag and told me how this work and this and this and that. So I'm asking the doctor 21 to 50 questions like, damn, well, what's this? I'm on this forever? Or like, you say I gotta shit out of this, so I can't shit out the regular way? Like, then you tell me I'm on a liquid diet, I can't eat this and that. I'm like, damn. I'm really then. They trying to tell me how this shit go or how I need to learn how to do this. Cause when I get to jail, they ain't gonna help me with this. I'm like, I'm all fucked up right now. I'm like, I'm in a colostomy bag. I'm charged with a murder and I'm shot up.
Right. Just bad all around.
Bad all around.
How long were you in that bag?
I've been in the bag, so it happened in 2020. I ain't get out the bag until I had surgery like April 20th, 2022.
Oh, 2 years later.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Wow. So that whole time you were having to use a bag to have bowel movements and you could only drink liquids.
Nah, but eventually, as you've been on it for a while, you could start eating back regular whole foods and stuff. Cause your colon system have to grow back and get back how it was. So eventually you start back eating how you want to eat. Don't eat nothing too crazy, then your bag go too crazy, but eventually you'll be able to eat how you want to eat.
How did it feel to finally get that bag removed?
Man, I told every doctor, every nurse, every surgeon who was in there, like, damn, I could just give all y'all a tip. Like, I just give y'all some extra money. I know I got to pay y'all back somehow, but I just wanted to tell them how thankful or how blessed it was, because doctor told me I was only going to be on it for 6 months to a year. So after a year passed by, I'm like, I'm supposed to be off by now, but it ended up taking a year and a half. So when it finally happened, it just felt real good. I want to give all of them a hug, all type of stuff.
I mean, do you still have issues because you had the bag and there's scar tissues and so forth, or are you back exactly the way you were?
No, it's back the way exactly I was. Like, only problems like when you first get your bag reversed, you probably gotta be back on liquid diet because you haven't been shitting out that type of weight in a year and a half, 2 years. So you gotta start back eating stuff that's cool or easy to come out. But other than that, everything back to regular though now.
Congrats, man. Could have gone a different way.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Yes, some people get shit bagged forever.
Facts. Doctor told me that, but he was like,
Yeah.
You healthy and blessed, you don't have to be on it forever. Then I asked him at the end, I'm like, damn, I can have sex.
Oh, you couldn't have sex with the bag before?
Like, he was like, your first 6 months to a year, he was like, you could try, but he was like, you really don't need to, because he was like, he was like, you're not supposed to the first 6 months. But I ended up being locked up for the first 6 months, though, so it really played out good.
Okay, so you're locked up for 6 months over this shooting.
Yeah.
But eventually they give you a bond.
Yeah.
$100,000.
Right.
Does Quando help you pay that?
Yeah.
Okay. You got lucky. If you didn't have a friend with money, you could have sat in there for a much longer time.
Yeah, family would have had a little problems. Families probably would have had to patch up. Cause it's like I could have got the money, but I couldn't get it at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's like having a boy like Quando for real make a little stuff a lot easier, especially when it came down to the lawyer. Shit, the lawyer wanted 100,000.
Also, Quando gave 100,000 for the lawyer too.
He gave about 60 of it probably, if I'm not mistaken. Another friend of mine's helped out.
Okay, how did it feel to walk out of that jail cell after 6 months?
Man, that shit felt good, cause it's like being locked up and knowing what happened. It's like, boom, you gotta take it on the chin. You did what you did. You gotta be a man, face your actions, right? But it's like getting out. It's like, boom, it feels so good, cause it's like I'm 4 hours from home. So this not even my home. This is my state. This is my state that I'm from. I'm from Georgia, but it's not my home. So I'm locked up 4 hours from home. So I don't know none of these niggas in this jail. So it's like, how we be comfortable trying to make new friends? Like, I ain't trying to make no new friends. I ain't trying to be cool with none of y'all. I don't trust none of y'all. So it's like, it felt good, because now I could go back my hometown where I'm from. So like, you go back home, you out, get to see your family again, get to help your family again, because your family needs you. Sisters, your mamas, your brothers. I ain't had no kid yet, but you know, people just need a nigga though.
Well, you get out, but the charges are still kind of hanging over your head for a while.
Right.
But then, August 2023, all charges dropped.
Right. But I don't find out until June. I don't find out till the second month. I'm at the second week of June.
Okay, when you found out that all the charges are being dropped against you, how'd you feel?
My mama surprised me. She made it seem like it was a emergency. She kept calling me like, Tim, like, come here, I need your help. Ooh. So I'm at my homeboy house. She making it seem like it's an emergency, but not a panic emergency. So she like, I'm calling her like, all right, I'm about to come over there. She called me back 10 minutes, like, you on the way? I'm like, damn, is that bad? I need to come now? So I still got the monitor on and stuff, so I'm like, damn. So while I'm on the way, I'm about 10 minutes on the way, she called again, like, you on the way? I'm like, she got me speeding now. I'm thinking something really wrong. Then I get there, she tell me like, boom, boy, they done dismissed the case. Me and my partner Dougie right there. So boom, we happy. We super happy. I don't even know if she planned or not. Then she like, oh, you gotta go to the A tomorrow for them to cut the lead monitor off. I'm like, oh, she for real. This shit over with. Quan don't even know yet. Like, ain't nobody know. Like, just me, my mama, my grandma, my auntie, and my partner. Only ones that know at first. I'm like, damn, boy, God real. Like, God that came through and dropped the case. God knew, like, man, I don't want you to goddamn be in jail for the rest of your life. Like, you got a purpose, you got shit to do. I'm gonna let you get off of this and goddamn continue life and goddamn, you know, do the right thing, take care of your people and stuff like that. Cause if he wanted me to be in there, he would have kept me in there.
Well, you were lucky to a certain degree because you're in Georgia and Georgia has a stand your ground law.
Right.
If this had happened in LA or New York, you wouldn't have been able to, you know, have that law work in your benefit. And unfortunately, the law works both ways. Because, you know, Trayvon Martin, when George Zimmerman killed him, he used that same law to get off. Even though I thought that was bullshit, but whatever, it is what it is. But in your case, it actually helped you because it was proven that you were protecting your friend and you were standing your ground, and ultimately they had to drop all the charges. How did Quando react when you finally told him?
I was super happy, but he probably was happier than me. He tried to come through the phone. He like, boy, we finna do this, we finna do that, we finna do this, we finna do that. He making plans for me I ain't even made for my own self. He like, cuz, we about to get this real money now, all this type of stuff. Like, he more happier than me.
Well, but at that time, you couldn't actually be around Quando?
No.
Because what, were you under some sort of
That was
guidelines?
like, yeah.
You can't be around certain people?
Yeah. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's not like he charged with anything. It's not like he my co-defendant. Why I can't be around him? Ain't like he did nothing. But that was one of the restrictions, not to be around, though.
Well, you said that your mom had to change her whole lifestyle because of the shooting, and she actually had to live to, move to a different location.
Right.
Was it because a bunch of crazy King Von fans were like threatening her and so forth?
I wouldn't say just like fans, but it's just like some people don't take life serious, and I take life serious. So it's like just knowing what's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. If I think I should or not, I'm just go ahead and goddamn make sure and be on the safe side, be on the positive side, and go ahead and make sure you in a better place just in case.
Yeah, that's smart, man. I don't understand why people just sit around for things to happen as opposed to being proactive about certain situations.
Then it's like if it was to happen, I hope it don't, like no jinx or nothing like that. But then if it happened, you like, boom, you knew better. You knew you should have did that. Yeah, so it's like, go ahead and do it.
Now, there was a rumor around this time that there was a $1 million bounty on your head.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
It's like, damn, at the moment, somebody could really want to take that and really try to do something, but it's like, at the end of the day, is you gonna be able to go back and get that money? Like, is you gonna make it back home? Cause it's like, it's not like I'm about to just sit here and let no one come kill me. So it's like, I'm gonna stand on my 10. I'm gonna stand my ground. So it's like, you could try to do what you're trying to do, but is you gonna be able to go get your money? Like, is you gonna be able to make it back home? Is you ever gonna be able to see them $1 million? Like, you could try though, and that would be just your dumb choice. But it's like, it ain't that sweet. It ain't just like that. But I just looked at it like, shit, that's their opinion. That what he say. Oh well, like, I done been in shit before, and people gonna say they gonna put money in my head or had money in my head before. It wasn't that much money, but it's not nothing I ain't been through before.
Well, yeah, the rumor was that Quando had the same amount on his head as well.
Yeah, so it's like, it was like, at that moment when it first was on, it was more on, so it's like, it was like, try your luck.
You know what's interesting also is when you look at this situation up to this point, you guys are still not the aggressors.
At the end of the day, you feel me?
You guys are still on self-defense mode, and everyone's still trying to come at you.
Yeah, and you know the internet defeated, man. You can't beat the internet, man. You just gotta let the internet be, man. Let them do whatever they say or want to do, because internet undefeated, man. You can't beat them, man.
Well, Asian Doll, who has inserted herself into this situation, by the way, I really hope when I die, I don't have an Asian doll that's calling herself King Vlad and, or Queen Vlad and trying to, clout chase off my name and make up stories and claim that I talked to her in a dream and all this other nonsense. But she tweeted recently, she said, "Since when can you shoot a N-word for fighting your friend and claim it's self-defense? Them charges was dropped because his bullets didn't kill Vaughn. Let's talk the real. I'm sick of these N-words lying." And she's talking about you.
Yeah.
When you hear that, what do you think?
You just look at her like, man, that bitch dumb, man. It's like,
I agree.
It's like the whole world seen the video, and a nigga ain't just saying they proud about it or whatever, but what happened. You can't take it back. It's in the past now, but it's like everybody seen the video. Like, so She just saying that just to saying that. She probably got an album or something that's gonna come out or something. She probably trying to clout chase or something, but man, everybody seen the video.
Yeah, she's probably trying to fix that bad plastic surgery she got. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a few more dollars off OnlyFans.
That shit bad.
That shit's horrible. That's the worst plastic surgery I've ever seen, by the way. That's the absolute worst. And by the way, she came in to do an interview with us. I wasn't there. It was done through one of my interviewers. She came in, sat down, said, "Fuck Vlad," rah, 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 and then stormed out. Yeah, so there you go. This is who we're dealing with, a nutcase. Okay, so you get out the hospital, they drop your charges, but, you know, the internet is talking.
Right.
People who are cool with Von and Durk are taking shots. Lil Reese said they were going to roll your ass up. Quando, you know, and Lil Reese go back and forth. And by the way, Lil Reese is in jail right now, facing 5 years.
That ain't the place to be, boy.
Yeah. Charleston White said that you did God's work by killing King Von, and you actually responded to him.
No, I don't know if I responded to it, but if that's what he want to call it, if that's what they want to say, then yeah, I let it be, man. You know, that's what they say.
Charleston White's a troll.
Yeah,
he's gonna be Charleston White. I've dealt with him before also, and he told me that he hopes my kids die and all types of other stuff.
Man.
Whatever Charleston White says, you gotta just roll your eyes and go on with your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Quando dropped the song "End of Story," and he dressed up like you in the music video. What'd you think when you heard the song and saw the video?
I've been hearing about it when I was locked up, but I really didn't hear it till I got out. But it's like, at the end of the day, no matter how nobody put it, it's like he did nothing wrong. And he rapping about a story that happened because somebody bothered him. It's like, not saying he perfect or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, people are already disliking him and stuff, but there's no reason why they could really say they dislike him or they dislike him. It's like, it's not no real reason, because it's like, I'm the one who did something. He ain't did nothing. I defended him at the end of the day. So it's like, why y'all don't like him? Y'all don't like him because he got beat up or somebody jumped on him or people trying to jump him? Like, why y'all don't like him? Like, it ain't no reason really.
Right, because you took that upon yourself to act. It's not like he told you to do that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is like...
And you know, the song is interesting. He said, "I don't give a fuck how no one feel. My mans ain't doing nothing wrong. If your mans wouldn't have did the same, you need to stop fucking with him."
Yeah.
You know, he said, "Hey, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would have said he wrong. Fuck what they say. That's understood. We had to make it home. I put that on the neighborhood before they bust my dome. Lil Timmy riding, right or wrong."
Right.
I mean, that says a lot right there. I mean, I'm sure the way you're smiling right now, is that the way you felt when you first heard the song?
It's like you get one chance at life. Can't let somebody else ruin what you got going on or your good life. Like, man, at the end of the day, what people say, protect the band. So it's like, you get one time at life, and I'm going to let y'all in what we got going on, then, nah, hell nah, man.
Well, you released your own song, Off the List.
Yeah.
And in the video, you're digging up dirt. And, you know, people are saying that is a reference to the situation. Is it?
At that time, I was trolling and I was fresh out, not really thinking smart. But it's like, my lawyer called me like, "Damn, man, is you slow or something? It's like, why would you be doing this and you out on bond?" And I'm thinking about it like, yeah, that is some stupid shit to do out on bond for a murder. So it's really like, in the past 3 years, I done matured, like, feel me? So it's like, some stuff I look back at is like, yeah, man, that probably was childish, or I probably was dumb, or something like that. Like, it was like a troll act at that moment. But if I was like, that shit don't make sense at the end of the day.
Well, you end up getting arrested for speeding and running away from the police.
Right.
And you get locked up for a month.
Right.
I mean, was there a reason why you did the chase?
It's like, I was fresh out. I only had been out for, damn, how long was I out? I want to say I was out for like 4 or 5 months. And I had like 15,000 on me. And down here, it's like, they gon' take your money. I'm trying to tell these folks I could show them where this money come from or how I got this money legally, and they still ain't giving my money back. So it's like, that wasn't the only reason, but that was for sure a reason why I know that they gonna charge me with money laundering, and it's clean money. Like, I just got this money out the bank.
Yeah. Okay, so you basically didn't want the police to steal from you.
Yeah. And I had a zip of weed on me, so that's like a felony down here. But it's like, man, weed should be legal everywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why they ain't passed that law down here yet or on the East Coast yet, but man, that'd be some petty ass shit down here.
Yeah, I agree, man. I smoke weed every day. And it's legal. It's legal in New York and LA where I'm at most of the time. But yeah, when I go down to Savannah, it's illegal. Or Georgia or Atlanta, it's illegal.
Feel me? Like,
yeah, stupid.
That shit is stupid.
Yep. Okay. So
then if you got money and weed on you, they gonna look at it as drug money. I got 15,000. Y'all trying to say I made all this off one zip? Like man, damn.
Yeah. Okay, so right around the end of 2021, Quando has a show in Blackshear, Georgia. After the show, I think they were at a little corner store, and a car pulls up and opens fire on them. And one of the guys in Quando's crew ends up getting shot in the hand.
I'm not even sure.
Were you there with him that day?
Nah, I was on house arrest. I couldn't even go outside.
When you heard the news, though, what did you think?
I was like, damn, y'all moving sloppy. Like, y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's in the air right now. Why y'all just sitting at the gas station goofing around? Like, y'all moving sloppy. Y'all know y'all supposed to be just lollygagging at the gas station for nobody to even try or attempt something on y'all, knowing what's going on at this moment.
So you're upset with him, feeling that he could have been more militant in the way he was moving.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then 2022 rolls around. November. NBA Youngboy and Quando Rondo release their joint mixtape, 3860.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this, and I told Rondo the same thing when I sat down with him recently. That is my favorite album from Youngboy and Quando Rondo. When I look at all their projects individually, the two of them just sound great together. Yeah. And I feel like Quando saved his best verses and his best songs to do the collab with Youngboy. I feel like he really put his foot in it. Like, okay, here's my chance to really have this huge project. I'm not going to do no throwaway shit. I'm not going to just freestyle in the booth. Like, I'm going to take this really seriously.
Right.
And and if you know me, I don't just throw around these types of things to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I was dead serious. I listened to that album over and over and over again. I'm not just saying because you in front of me. I love that project. Y'all two sound, y'all like Kobe and Shaq together.
Sure. Appreciate it.
Great project.
Appreciate
that. It's interesting, though. Youngboy said he didn't want to drop the tape originally. I guess Quando had to talk him into it at some point.
Yeah, it's like, he ain't want to just say, I don't know like 100% everything, but I know he wasn't saying like he didn't want to just drop the tape, like I don't want to drop this with you. He was saying like, let's wait. I don't want to drop it right now. He was saying like, but Quando really wanted to get it out because the label was saying certain stuff to her, like how they felt like they were talking about certain people in the song, but I'm like, this the industry at the end of the day. It's not like y'all really care about a nigga lives. Y'all just care about making the money off of them.
Well, on the first song, you actually do the first verse.
Right.
This is I Swear.
Yeah.
You know, Quando kind of does some of the chorus kind of in the beginning.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the first verse, featuring Lul Tim.
Right.
And your verse goes, all these bodies on my conscience, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy, catch him walking out a party, hop out, walk him down. Baby, I got cheddar on my noggin, my revolver out. Lasers, I got stretchers, I got coffins in my mama house. They praise all on Dita. What was Dita?
Dita, that's where I used to stay at.
Okay.
Back in the past when I was little.
I've been thugging at my grandma's house. Bodies, I got plenty. They won't go away. Top shot, I got plenty. No way, Jose. Plenty cases I done beat. Who's your lawyer? I'ma pay him. Undefeated in the streets. I know they plotting just to take him.
So I boom on music. I feel like stuff you have to say, that's where you lay it down at. Or stuff you want to just express, or stuff you want like. At the end of the day, I feel like this music stuff is entertainment. So it's like, when you really want to say something, I feel like you're supposed to say it on music.
I mean, at this point, when you guys, do this project, are you an NBA young boy? Do you guys have a relationship at this point? Are you guys talking as well?
Yeah, I knew YB before all this stuff was even going on. I met YB about 2018, 2019 through Quando.
What was that first, conversation with YB after you got out?
Got out from Atlanta?
Well, no, when you got out of jail, when you made bond.
Yeah.
And you and young boy had a conversation. What was that conversation like?
I probably talked to him a couple months later. And he was just saying like the same thing everybody else saying, like, don't worry about it, what the industry's saying or what's going on in the air, bro. You ain't did nothing wrong. You gonna beat the case and shit like that. Like, that was like the first conversation type shit.
Well, you had that one verse, but you're mentioned throughout the album. So on Give Me a Sign, Quando said, y'all have some N-words trying to test you just to see what's the deal. Then I'll be damned, it really happened. Now a rapper got killed. It broke my heart seeing my N-word get hit up with that steel. On top of that, get hit with murder for protecting his crib.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Trophies, Quando said, Unc said, don't pull that heater out unless you shooting to kill. I'm living my life like a rock star. I could never plead the fifth if I'm guilty. All these bodies on my conscience got me feeling like Timmy.
Yeah.
I mean, how did it feel to be on a project this dope? Not only getting a verse, but having your name mentioned throughout.
I look at it like some folks giving me my flowers, or some folks showing respect, and some of it like telling me like what everybody was saying, like you ain't did nothing wrong. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah. Well, Quando Rondo and NBA Youngboy actually announced a tour that they're supposed to do together, and the first stop was supposed to be Chicago, but ultimately that tour never happened. Was it really supposed to be a tour, or were they just trolling?
I believe it really supposed to be on tour, but I know I was on house arrest, so I was like, damn, I know I'm probably not going to be able to go. But I believe it really supposed to be on tour, though. I mean, it really supposed to be a tour, though.
Okay. So, later on that year, August 19th, 2022, Quando Rondo, Lul Pab, and some other people go out to L.A. They stop at a gas station across the street from the Beverly Center.
Mm-hmm.
A group of guys, 3 guys with ski masks, come out and open fire on the car. Lul Pab was pumping gas at the time. He gets shot and he dies in Quando Rondo's arms. And me and Quando talked about the situation when we did our interview, a month or so ago.
Like, and I love my mans. I love Pab.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. And that was your closest friend?
Nah, yeah, but I fucked it with bit, bro, nigga. That nigga was one nigga that used to actually get on my ass. Like, little bro, like, what you doing? You tripping? Let's do this. Little bro, let's go to the studio. Like, man, that man was a real nigga. He just was all about his paper.
Now, you said you actually knew Pab before you knew Quando.
Right.
That was your man.
Right.
When you found out that happened, what was that first phone call like?
Damn. I'm trying to remember who first called me. But when I first got the call, though, they said Quando and Pab had got shot. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, damn, they lollygagging in LA. So boom, I'm on house arrest, so it's like, I'm just sitting in the house. Just get a call, they like, damn, Pab and Quando just got shot. I'm like, damn, I hope both of them good, type shit. Then I get a call back like, nah, Quando ain't got shot, Pab got shot. But really, he really was dead, like, on the scene, cause I had got a call, like, he was on the way to the hospital and that he about to go on surgery and stuff. So I'm like, all right, he gonna be good. But really, from like the looks of it, looked like he was already dead on the scene. But then I was just like, when somebody passed away, all you do is think about the memories y'all had.
Do you feel, when you heard the news, did you have an idea who you think was behind the shooting?
Not at first. At first, I just felt like, damn, ain't no telling. Like, somebody could have seen them and gave somebody a call, and somebody probably gave her an assist or played her assist in or something like that. That's all I was thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, that was a horrible situation. Quando said that's the worst thing that he ever went through, because his cousin, Pab, who just got killed, died in his arms in L.A., and Pab didn't really have anything to do with anything. He was just pumping gas.
Right.
And after the shooting, and we talked about this in our interview, Quando put down his Rolling 60s flag and said, I'm done with all this.
Right.
Yeah, man, but it didn't even took that situation for for me to start feeling like that, man. It always come down to realization, what you realize. I done realized certain stuff and been like, man, I don't care about us, man. We from down south. They just want to use us. They just want to come sit in our spots. They just want to come. I don't know, man. I ain't with none of that shit, my nigga. Cause you know what's crazy? Stanley Tookie Williams resigned from Crips. You know that?
Yeah. How'd you feel about that?
First, I was like, just because this happened, that ain't no shit to do. But then as you see, like, the reasons and why certain shit happened and how some people reacted, like, damn, niggas ain't even there, like, for you or trying to even help you out, I kind of like looked at them like I could see why, like, so people who supposed to be your brother or homie or whatever you want to call it, not even there for you. It's like I kind of felt them. At first I was like, you kind of tripping, cause it's like you like. At first I looked at it like, you just don't do that cause some shit happened. But then as more stuff came out, I looked at it like I could see why now.
Well, the rumor was that someone from the Rolling 60s backdoored him and, told the shooters about his location. I don't know if that's true or not. There's lots of rumors floating around, so I'm not going to say who or what or who's rumored to do it because ultimately we don't know. But I guess if he did find out that it was someone from, an organization that he represented for a long time, I could see how that would just make him say, man, forget this whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you end up getting arrested on drug charges at one point, like around this time?
No, that wasn't around this time. That was after the fleeing of Lul. I didn't get caught directly for the fleeing of Lul. I ended up making it back home.
So you got arrested for that situation from before?
Yeah, so they just came and like kicked my door in and came and got me out the house, and I had like a little bit of weed in the house and stuff like that, and they charged me with it.
Huh. There's also a video that came out where Quando Rondo gets into it with a guy at a shoe store, and you're there trying to hold him back.
Nah, that was another friend of ours.
Oh, wasn't you?
Nah, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Sorry.
That was the way it was reported. Well, time is going on. We're in 2023 by now. And at this point, now people are kind of talking shit back and forth. Lil Durk said that King Von got killed by a nerd. Quando said the nerds got 7 of them last year. Irk. And there's this whole thing like slide for Von, all that type of shit is going all over the internet. And look, Durk is a big artist. Von was a fairly big artist. So you have a lot of fans that are just going with their favorite artist. They don't really care about who's right or who's wrong. It's like, well, I like this guy's music, so I'm going to antagonize the people that he doesn't like. So seeing all the comments and everything, and I'm sure you're getting death threats from a bunch of randoms, like I do sometimes. I mean, did that bother you at all, or was it just whatever?
Nah, it don't bother me because, like I said, I done been through this type of stuff before. Not probably as big, but I done been through this stuff. Like, stuff like that don't bother me. Like, I don't even condone in that type of stuff. People be saying this and that. I be like, I just let it go out the window, man.
Well, Quando said that he felt like he was blackballed after that situation. A lot of people canceled shows and people didn't want to do verses with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you see that happen?
Yeah, I really did. And now we got people who be trying to hit him up and do stuff. Now it's like, damn, where y'all been at?
Right.
Shit sad.
Yeah, man, listen, if you look at everything I've done publicly, I've always been like, Quando and Tim didn't do anything wrong. This guy took it on himself and ultimately paid the repercussions for his own actions. So for anyone to feel differently, you just like a certain rapper more than they like Quando. Just admit that's what it is. It has nothing to do with logic or what's right and what's wrong. Because like I said, you were cleared of all charges. He had no charges. So it is what it is. But then Quando ends up getting into a whole bunch of problems legally. His house gets raided. They put him on $100K bond. They try to get his bond revoked after he crashed his car. And then ultimately, he got indicted on federal charges. And we went through the charges in our last interview, and it's so clear that he didn't do anything. I know Quando Rondo's not drug dealing, and that was one of the charges.
Yeah.
But they're basically trying to charge him for what other people are doing around him.
Right.
And ultimately, he pled guilty to a federal drug conspiracy charge and to willingly joining a gang to obtain and distribute more than a dozen kilograms of marijuana. And he's going to be sentenced in December. And like I said, man, I was upset when I heard this because I'm like, Quando's got hundreds of millions of streams. He got paid shows. Quando is not selling marijuana. But yet, he's facing a potential 5-year sentence, which next month they're going to give to him. How do you feel about the whole situation?
I feel like he just ready to get it over with. Hopefully he don't get as much time as they're trying to give him, because it's not like it's true. He just ain't want to take it to trial, and they have some bullshit on him. So he like, man, I'm gonna just take this little deal and get it over with. Then it's like, you know, try to make sure, even though he gonna make sure his daughter good, but like, you know, try to be there for his daughter while he gone, stuff like that. Try to goddamn. I can't hold him off on the rap. Nah, I can't rap better than him.
Nah, he's dope, man. Not too many people can rap like Quando.
Yeah, so it's like I could just try to hold it down the best I can while he gone, rap wise and stuff like that. But other than that though, man, you know, just try to be there for him like he'll be there for me.
Well, Quando talked about how, you know, law enforcement tries to paint him as a gang leader, kind of like they did with Young Thug, who recently got off.
Right.
And got time served. Do you think that's a similar kind of comparison?
Yeah, a little bit. They try to force their hands on certain people who they feel like they just want or something, or got away with something, but it's like they be thinking he got away with something that he ain't never done.
Yeah.
And then they just get mad, like some people around him might do some bad stuff, but y'all can't make him take no time for nobody else. Like they done did that, like take that up with them.
Yeah. How do you feel about Young Thug getting time served after being in prison for over 2 years?
Shit. I don't really know Young Thug like that. I never met him or nothing like that. But you know, when I see that, like I wish jail on nobody. I know his family. Glad to see him come home. Glad to see him out of jail. Like I don't wish jail upon nobody. That place ain't, I wouldn't say that place isn't for nobody, but I know it ain't for me. So I know if I was in that predicament, I want to go home and be with my family. So I look at it the same way for somebody else. Like you gotta put your feet or your shoes in somebody else's shoes. Like shit, welcome home. That's how I look at it.
Well, during this time, NBA YoungBoy ends up getting arrested. He ends up violating his probation, and he gets hit with 63 drug charges, allegedly calling in prescriptions. And he accepts a plea deal on his federal gun case. So he got 2 years and 5 years probation. Were you talking to YoungBoy at all during this time?
Not recently, but while I was on house arrest, I was. We don't talk like every day, but you know, we stay in touch though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just recently, Lil Durk and 5 other people get arrested by the feds for a murder for hire charge, which left Quando Rondo's cousin Lul Pab dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through the paperwork carefully, page by page, not only in Lil Durk's indictment, but also the 5 other guys that got indicted. And I went through it piece by piece. So this is the story that the feds lay out. So on August 18th, 2022, which is one day before the murder, OTF members learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in LA from a longtime OTF affiliate, co-conspirator 4. So his name is being, secret, which probably means he's cooperating to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Without naming any names, do you think you know who co-conspirator 4 is? Because this is the person who backdoored Quando.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not going to ask you who it is. I'm just going to ask you, do you think you know who it is?
Nah, I don't think I know. Because I don't really know them guys.
Okay. Well, as soon as they find out where Quando Rondo's staying, they booked a one-way flight, which had OTF Didi, OTF Boogie, Flocka, Brown Eyes, and co-conspirator 2. They had one-way plane tickets from Chicago to San Diego, and it was paid by a credit card by someone associated with OTF. a number that they say is associated with Lil Durk sent a text message to the person booking the tickets that said, "Don't book no flights under no names involving me." Which, of course, they end up booking a flight with a credit card involving him. The same day those 5 guys got flown out, Lil Durk and OTF Vonnie flew in a private plane from Miami to Los Angeles. According to the paperwork, OTF Vonnie rented and paid for a room at the Sheraton Universal Hotel using a credit card in Durk's name. And at that hotel, Flocka, Brown Eyes, Dee, Boogie, and Co-Conspirator 2 all stayed at this hotel. Right around the same time, OTF Vonnie gets a white BMW from a rental company and a white Infiniti with fake license plates. Vonnie also goes to a sporting goods store where he buys 4 ski masks.
Damn.
And, I mean, not only did they have the purchase of the 4 ski masks, but the car he was driving, because it was a rental, the GPS placed him at that store at the same time those ski masks were bought. And then Vonnie meets with Flocka, Brown Eyes, and Co-Conspirator 2 and gave them guns, including a machine gun, which is probably a Glock with a switch. When you look at this setup, what do you think?
Man, shit. Like, damn, niggas being sloppy. Some sloppy work. Shit.
Okay, so then August 19, 2022, the day of the murder, Quando Rondo, Lul Tim, and others, they leave the hotel in a black Escalade. As they're leaving, the white BMW, driven by OTF Vonnie, with Flocka, Brown Eyes, and Co-Conspirator 2 are in that car. And then the white Infiniti with fake license plates start following Quando's car around. So these 2 cars followed Quando's Escalade for hours. He went to a marijuana dispensary in downtown. They followed him there. He went to a clothing store on Melrose. They followed him there. But this whole time, they didn't make any moves. They just literally spent hours just stalking him. But then Quando's car stops at a mobile gas station across the street from the Beverly Center, and Pab gets out to pump gas. The BMW pulls up, and the 3 shooters, Flocka, Brown Eyes, and Co-Conspirator 2, they come out of the BMW wearing black ski masks, and they open fire. At least 18 rounds get fired. Lul Pab gets killed. Quando, who's allegedly the actual target, doesn't get hit. Then the shooters run back and drive off. About an hour later, they meet up at a burger spot and they talk about the actual payment for the murder. Now, the feds know all this because there are people whose names are hidden. So I'm assuming that these people are cooperating in the whole situation, including one of the shooters. And then according to the paperwork, OTF Dee paid Flocka and Brown Eyes for their role in the murder. I used to always say in my interviews that if you have beef with somebody and you're a rapper, let's say, all you have to do is move out of your city, go to a different state, because no one would be stupid enough to get on a plane to try to kill you because there's too much paperwork and too much of a trail, and the chance of you getting away with it is 0. I said, no one would be stupid enough to do this. But Lil Durk seems to be that stupid in order to do it. Because he went and flew out 5 guys under a credit card according to his name, put them up in hotels, flew in with a guy who got the guns, got the ski masks, and was the driver, and they go and kill a target, which they ended up even missing, and end up killing the wrong person. When you see this whole story laid out right now, how do you feel?
Shit. I really feel the same way. Like, I be like we just, if you just looking at it from social media, you be like, Quando and them was moving sloppy for them to be able to be trailing them for this long. Then you gotta also, they was goddamn doing sloppy work by how, like you say, how they did all that credit card stuff flying out, all that job sloppy work, like. And you would think with all this money you'd be doing better shit or smarter shit, but shit, all that shit sloppy and stupid at the end of the day.
I mean, is this the first time you heard the whole story laid out?
Yeah. Cause like I heard the story that they told me about like what happened, but like you said, everybody ain't knew like all the stuff that's coming out.
Right. This is the federal paperwork. Now, there's rumors that a guy named OTF Jam was an informant, wore a wire. I'm not sure about any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's rumors, and he's addressing it in his own way. But this is the story that's in the federal paperwork, and this is what ultimately all those guys are going to have to fight against in order to, to get out of this. Because October 17, 2024, a grand jury returned an indictment charging Lil Durk, OTF Vonnie, OTF Didi, OTF Boogie, Flocka, and Brown Eyes with murder for hire and conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in the death of Lul Pab, discharge of firearms, and a machine gun in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. October 24th, 2024, law enforcement arrested Vonnie, Flocka, Brown Eyes, Didi, and OTF Boogie. They executed multiple search warrants in Chicago with OTF members. So now everyone's getting arrested. Durk is not arrested yet, though. When you heard the news that a bunch of the OTF guys got arrested for murder for hire, what'd you think?
I was like, shit. Some people was on there like happy and stuff. Some people was on the internet happy and stuff. I was looking like, shit, God just put it in his own hands. Cause shit, a nigga didn't really know what had really happened. But I was like, I don't wish jail on nobody, you feel me? Cause that's a horrible place. But shit, I just looked at it like God put it in his own hands. If anybody should be happy, it should be just like Paul family or Paul mama or something like that. Not people who really be playing outside. Like, y'all shouldn't be happy like people going to jail, but like his family wise, they could be happy because they probably could get some justice or something, but it's like, I don't wish jail on nobody though.
Well, when you heard that all those guys get arrested, but Durk doesn't get arrested yet, did you think that Durk was going to get arrested as well, or you had no idea? You got a bunch of guys with OTF in their name getting arrested for murder for hire.
It came up in my head, but I didn't know like that he was gonna get picked up a couple of days later. I was like, damn.
It's the same day. It's later on that day.
Oh yeah. So I was like, in my head, I was like, if all that happened, shit. Well, I really like it was when I seen it, I seen all of them at the same time. So I didn't even see a little bit get arrested first, then none. So when I first seen it, I just seen everybody. I'm like, damn. So when I seen it, his name was up there, but I didn't know if it was real or not. I was like, maybe that job probably fake.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
It's definitely real. Because after all the OTF guys get arrested, the FBI got a notification from U.S. Customs and Border Protection that showed that Lil Durk had booked 2 one-way tickets, one to Switzerland and one to Dubai. Dubai doesn't have an extradition policy with the U.S., so they say that was the reason why. Dubai and Switzerland, I think, has a similar situation. Lil Durk doesn't board any of those flights. But then, shortly afterwards, U.S. Customs and Border Protection contacted the FBI to say that Lil Durk had booked another plane ticket on a private plane from Miami to Italy. So as he was driving to the airport, while he was like trying to board the flight in the vicinity of the airport, FBI swooped in and arrested him.
I didn't even know they could know about private jets and
Oh yeah, no. I mean, just because you fly private doesn't mean that you're under the radar. I mean, it all goes through the system. So, if the feds come out and say, listen, DJ Vlad is a flight risk. So if his name comes up on any flights, private, public, boats, whatever, hot air balloons, just alert us. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, this is not 1982 anymore. This is 2024. So Lil Durk gets arrested. He's now held without bond. And if he's convicted of all these crimes, he's facing life in prison or possibly the death penalty. If Durk ends up getting the death penalty for his role in your friend's murder, how would you feel?
I feel like, in my head, I just put it like, shit, that what God wanted to happen. Shit, it mean too much or how much I really feel about it. I'll just be like, that what God wanted to happen. So shit, if he was to, if none of that stuff was not to happen and he be innocent, I feel like that what God wanted it to be. You feel me? Just like how God had let me go, I feel like that what God wanted to do. So you just like, I feel like everything be in God's hands at the end of the day.
If he got life in prison, would you feel the same way? That's in God's hands. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Cause I don't wish jail on nobody. Like I'm not no person who be like, well, I hope he don't never get out or nothing like that. I ain't that type of person. I ain't no type of person who wish jail on nobody, cause I wouldn't want nobody to wish jail on me.
Well, a lot of people say this, but for example, let's just say someone killed your 5-month-old daughter. Would you want that person in jail? Or would you say, I don't want jail on nobody?
I still wouldn't wish it on them, but I would want to do something to them.
Right, but then you're putting your own freedom at risk.
Yeah, you're
as
right.
As opposed to letting law enforcement do their job.
You're right.
Because let's just say you go and kill that person, everyone will look at you like a hero, right? Social media will be like, free Lul Tim. Lul Tim's a hero. He's the best. But law enforcement is going to still charge you with murder.
Yeah.
Probably,
but it's like,
first-degree murder, because they'll probably prove that you planned it based on what happened to your daughter.
Yeah, but just it being my daughter, I wouldn't even care. Like, I wouldn't have no sympathy behind it just because it's my daughter.
Yeah, I just feel that this is a dangerous way of thinking because it creates a revolving door. You know what I'm saying? Where people end up taking the law into their own hands, and then the justice system ends up punishing them as well.
Right.
You can't say stand your ground if you do a situation like this.
And then you really just gotta, like, in no type of predicaments, you gotta tell, or you gotta like ask them, like if someone, like, they probably wouldn't even think of it like me as a man, cause it might be some women who might be a jurors or something, but you have to ask them, like, if somebody was to kill your daughter, how would you feel? Or what would you want to do? Would you want the police just taking hand? Like, some women would just say, oh, I want to, but you really have to ask the father.
Yeah, no, listen, I understand your point. And I just feel that it ends up creating a cycle of men going back into prison because they don't trust the police. They don't think the police are going to handle things right. So they take it upon themselves, and then they end up doing prison time. And, if your daughter had lived, she probably wouldn't want her dad in prison. Like, for example, you look at the Jimmy Henchman situation. I don't know if you're familiar with the whole beef with G-Unit, but at one point, Jimmy Henchman's son gets smacked up by a bunch of G-Unit dudes. He ends up having a role in the murder of the guy that smacked up his son. Now he's doing double life. Right? Now, from people from the outside, it's like, oh, he did the right thing. He stood up for his son. But I'm pretty sure his son would want his dad home and not standing up for him because he could actually hug his dad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's complexities to this that sometimes people don't always think all the way through.
Right.
I don't think Jimmy Henchman's son every day says, yeah, I'm proud of my dad and he did the exact right thing. He probably says, man, I miss my dad. I wish he was out here with me right now, helping me through life.
Sometimes you gotta give it some time. Sometimes it just be so fresh where
Yeah.
You don't think it all the way through, but it's like 20, 30 years down the line, you done sat in jail for 20 years. You like, yeah, maybe it was a better way to take it or something smarter to do. But at the moment, you just be so fucked up of what they did to your child, you don't even care at the moment, but it be so fresh. I think that's just, you have to give it some time, sometimes just think it out, I guess.
Well, if you were to guess, when you look at all the guys that got arrested over the murder of your friend, do you think they're going to start snitching on each other?
I wouldn't say everybody, but probably one person, when they see how much evidence or see that, because it's like, the feds kind of different, than the state. So it's like the feds pick it up. They got some type of evidence. So it's like,
They got 2 years of evidence.
Yeah, so it's
2 years. They sat back. Because I remember when I asked Quando, I said, has anyone ever been arrested over the murder of your cousin? He said no. So at the time, we all assumed, okay, it's just a cold case. It'll never get solved.
That's what
I don't know how,
though.
because it's happening in Beverly Hills. But the Fed sat back and just built a case, kind of like with FBG Duck and the O Block 6. They just built a case. And when they finally indicted everyone, that was it. It was a wrap. Everyone gets found guilty. O Block 6 are all doing life in prison. It's I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened with this situation. And I know, and I've interviewed Lil Durk before. We were actually cool at one point. I mean, he said fuck Vlad in a couple of songs, but to me, that's just internet back and forth. I didn't really care. But it wasn't until this situation that I was really just kind of like, what the fuck? And I know that he's sitting in a cell right now thinking, man, this situation really is not as serious as I thought it was. King Von, it was his fault in terms of what happened. Instead of, me going along with this whole slide for Von nonsense, I should have looked at it maturely and said, well, Von did something to cause this situation.
Right.
Here I am, a top 10 rapper worth tens of millions of dollars, and I'm sitting in a jail cell eating bologna sandwiches right now. And I may never get out. Over what? Over a situation that Durk could have really just let go. He didn't need to do any of this shit. And since he's the leader, he could have told all his people to stand down. Or if they did something, he could have been like, I have no idea. I didn't put them up to this. They took it upon themselves. I wasn't there. I didn't fly anybody out. I can't control what other people do. But instead, he's now tied into a murder for hire. And you can't even say that this will go down in manslaughter or whatever else, because they had a whole day to change their mind. And I really wonder if at some point somebody looked at Durk and said, hey, man, I think this is a bad idea. I think we're all going to get caught. Why don't we just go to LA and just have fun and not do any of this dumb shit?
Yeah.
Because at this point, OTF is all locked up right now. And it just is what it is. I mean, if you could talk to Durk, what would you tell him?
Shit, I don't even know, tell you the truth. I don't even know. I don't even have nothing to even say.
Yeah. I understand, man, because when you look at this whole situation, when you look at the Lil Durk NBA YoungBoy beef, the way it's painted in the media, King Von's dead. Lil Durk is facing life in prison. Quando has a Fed case. Slutty gets killed. NBA YoungBoy's in jail as well. There are no winners. Nobody won. No one could say that we're the winner here. Everyone took losses on both sides, and the winner is nobody. The winner is actually law enforcement. That's the only winner. Law enforcement and the morgue. Those are the only people that really profited and made money off the situation. Everyone else took losses. And I really hope that in the future, people look at the situation and say, it's not that serious. Okay, I'm just going to respond in a song, or I'm just going to go online and just talk my shit. I've had beef with lots of people, man. Me and NLE Chopper went at it, but at one point we got on the phone, we had a mature conversation, then we sat down and had an interview. That's how grown men handle it. They don't handle it with all the stupid shit that ultimately happened, man. And it really, man, listen, I mean, this shit really just upset me. The way it all went down when I found out the way Pab got killed and everything else like that, it just really just turned my stomach, man. And I'm sorry that you've had to go through this whole situation being painted as a villain when ultimately, if it was the other way around, if Quando Rondo had attacked King Von, Von's people probably would have killed Quando Rondo.
Right.
But no one wants to think of it that way.
Facts, though. Nobody
wants to think of it that way. Because my security, I expect them to do the same thing.
Right.
I walk around, when I go to certain events or whatever, I have armed security. And if they didn't do the same thing, I would fire them. You know what I'm saying? So, Tim, man, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your story. Hopefully people will look at it a little bit differently because, like I said in the beginning, people just go with the rapper they're the most fan of.
Yeah. As
opposed to sitting back and logically, maturely looking at the situation. And I feel like you did nothing wrong. Law enforcement agrees that you did nothing wrong. It seems like you're going on and living your life. You had a child. You have a lot to live for. And just take the situation and learn from it, man.
Yeah, for real. I got you.
That's what it is, man. Lul Tim, until next time.
Appreciate you, man.